Alright, guys. The WWE has pulled my last thread. I know on one of my past videos I've said AW was annoying and AW shouldn't have had the mic while the match is going on because it takes away from the commentators. I know I said that, but I go back and look at it. He's doing a great job as a heel to help his heel based tag team. Now, on Raw about a week ago, he said that I believe it was O'Neal. I believe AW said that O'Neal is like Kobe Bryant in a Colorado hotel room, unstoppable. That one statement probably killed the tag division for the next few months. The reason why I say that is because AW made the primetime players. He was the reason why they started getting entertaining. He was the reason why they started getting a push. He gets fired for that, but yet it's okay for Vince to say the N word. He gets fired for that, but it's okay for Vince to make fun of one of the best commentators in the history of this sport about having Bell's palsy syndrome. I've had Bell's palsy before. I had a brief stint of it for about 3 weeks. It's not fun. It's very hard to eat. It's very hard to drink. And I don't know how I would have survived if I had to live with that all my life like JR is having to. Everybody wants to say it's because of Linda being a runner for Senate. I don't even think it's that anymore. It's the WWE playing favorites. It's the WWE being a hypocrite. It's the WWE saying, be a star, don't be a bully. But yet, we're going to go and we're going to fire people for a harmless comment. We're going to go and fire people for trying to be funny, for trying to be entertaining. You know what? The WWE stands for World Wrestling Entertainment. The E stands for entertainment. If you don't know what entertainment is, you need to take the E off. You need to call it World Wrestling. Just call it WWE then. You know what? Vince, you are just pushing it and pushing it. Vince, why do you think I watch every single one of your pay-per-views on the stream? Because I'm not going to waste my money on your pay-per-views. I'm not going to waste my money on watered down talent. I'm not going to waste my money on guys that are too stiff in the ring to wrestle. I'm not going to waste my money watching John Cena being in the main event while your WWE champion of almost 8 months is behind him. Vince, you, you had, like CM Punk said last summer, Vince McMahon is a millionaire who should be a billionaire, but he associates himself with a bunch of douchebag yes men, and that ruins the company. And you know what? Like CM Punk also said last summer, everybody seems to think, once Vince retires, everybody thinks this company's going to get better. It's not. It really, unless really somebody comes along and actually takes over, it's not going to get better. It's not. If you're going to keep on firing people for harmless, stupid crap like this, they fired Ken Anderson over messing up a backdrop because Orton has to go and complain to the boys in the back or to the guys in charge in the back. He goes and complains to him about how Orton could have hurt him. Sin Cara is botching left and right and up and down and diagonal, but you know what? Nobody's fired him yet. Ken Anderson was probably one of the best young talents you had coming up, and you know what? He went to TNA. You see what he's doing in TNA now. He's not. Yeah, I mean, he's had a world championship run already. Uh, he's been used more than what he was in WWE. I will say that his character is way more interesting than it was in WWE. It was almost the same character, but it's a tad bit different. Now, The WWE, y'all are firing people over harmless, retarded stuff. I'm telling you now, if John Cena was to walk out and be like, at SummerSlam, I'm facing CM Punk and The Big Show, a 500-pound giant and a straight-edge superstar, the WWE champion for the past almost 300 days. I'm facing them in a triple threat match. And you know what? I'm going to be like Kobe Bryant in a hotel room. I'm going to be unstoppable because I will never quit and I'll never give up. Cena wants to say that. Oh, no, Cena, you're fine. You're fine. You're the whole Make-A-Wish Foundation star. Don't get me wrong, Make-A-Wish is a great foundation. The company my mother works for, they support Make-A-Wish Foundation, and it's a great foundation. And I support it 110%. But you're going to have one of the biggest arrogant guys in wrestling today as your top representative for a foundation like that. You're just setting yourself up. WWE is bully TV. They show you how to bully people. They get Big Show to go on there and he bullies people. They get Brutus Clay to go on there and he just squashes people. I know there's a difference between bullying and squashing. I understand there's a difference in bullying and trying to get a guy over. Brutus Clay is already over. Why do you need to keep on feeding gassing him for him to squash? I just don't understand it. I mean, you're going to fire probably one of the best entertainers on your roster right now for a silly little comment. They should have slapped him with a fine or slapped him with, like a month suspension or something like that. But you know what? I guarantee you, Monday night they're just gonna act like nothing happened. WWE, really, Vince. Vince, I know he's probably not listening to this, but if any way possible he is listening to this, Vince McMahon, in 1997, I started watching your product. My first ever wrestling match was the 1997 SummerSlam. I will never forget the night. Ever since then, I've been hooked. I've been hooked on wrestling. I've been crazy about it. I lived, I breathed, I slept wrestling. That's what I wanted to be whenever I grew up. That's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life.
You know what, Vince? You ruined that. You know it. You know how you ruined it? By doing crap like this. You have made it to where wrestling is so unenjoyable to watch sometimes. You make it more like a soap opera instead of a actual wrestling match. Dude, I still remember I believe it was a steel cage matches, who was it? Yeah, it was steel cage, it was Triple H versus Mankind. I still remember that match. I still remember the Legion versus the Godwins. I still remember Davey Boy versus Ken Shamrock. I still remember Owen Hart versus Steve Austin. I still remember Bret Hart versus Undertaker. I mean, that was a great first event for me to become a wrestling fan with, but you fed me stuff like John Cena for the past 10 years. You have shoved it down my throat. And you know what? He shoved and shoved and shoved and shoved. And you know what, Vince? You are the biggest hypocrite. You are the biggest bully. I'm just some 19-year-old from South Carolina. I know my opinion ain't going to matter to him. He's almost a billionaire. It's not going to matter. But you know what? I am a wrestling fan. I am a part of the reason why he is such big right now. I used to give him my money. I used to buy the merchandise. I used to buy the games. I used to buy the toys. I used to buy the pay-per-views. I used to watch the show day in and day out.
You know what, Vince? You're going to lose a lot of people over this because you know what, frankly, we're getting tired of being bullied. Because Vince McMahon, you are the biggest bully of all.